announcer, writer, and production staff, and does not in any way reflect the views of this station. The station has advised the programmers to abide by broadcast laws and KBP rules.
Usapang Kalye covers a wide range of topics including politics, current events, news, cars, food, hidden gems in the metro, the latest trends and fashion, showbiz gossip, and much more. It is your one-stop talk show that discusses anything under the sun. Catch us live every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on DWBL 1242. Tara na't makinig! Broadcasting live sa Paragon Tower sa Mandaluyong City, narito na ang Usapang Kalye kasama sina Edison Gotan at Cliff Dalus.
Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao at sa lahat ng kakalye sa buong mundo, muli kaming romoronda upang makipagbalitaan, kwentuhan at talakayan. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Edison Gotan, at syempre kasama natin ngayon ang isa sa pinaka-importanting tao sa business sa mundo ng startup dito sa Pilipinas. Siya po ay ang director ng Director and TBI, Technology Business Incubator Manager ng Benild Hi-Fi o DOST TBI. Kasama ko ngayon ang aking kaibigan na si Paul Amerigo Pajo. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Thanks, Edison. Maraming salamat sa iyong napakagandang pagbati sa akin at magandang hapon po sa lahat po ng nakikinig sa show ni Edison, ang Usapang Kalye.
Yes, this is Usapang Kalye. Siyempre, napapakinggan tayo ng live sa DWBL 1242 at napapanood din tayo ng live sa Facebook page ng DWBL 1242 Radio sa Facebook. Ayan, mga kakalye, ang magandang ngayong Sabado na to kasi ang usapan natin ay about negosyo, about startup. Ayan. Kasi lagi nating narinig, di ba? Sa mga kakalye, yung term na startup. In fact, I think naging naging pangalan ng isang K-drama, di ba? Mm-hmm. Na about starting business. Ayan. Pero para mas maintindihan natin, ano muna yung startup? Kasi ang challenge kasi is kailan ba ako mako-consider na isang startup?
Okay. So, maraming tao familiar sila sa concept ng business or negosyo, right? So, lahat ng negosyo, if you think about it, pag first time siyang ginawa sa mundo, considered siyang startup kasi ang business na hindi pa siya nagagawa, that means hindi mo alam kung sino yung customer mo, hindi mo alam yung problema, at hindi mo rin alam yung solution. Pag na-figure out mo na kung sino yung customer mo, ano yung problema ng customer mo, at ano yung solution, your startup becomes like any other ordinary business, which is what everyone is familiar with. But pag yung negosyo mo na gusto mong gawin, wala kang makonsulta kasi ikaw lang yung nakaisip ng business na yon, at normally a startup requires a lot of technology to use, then that's a startup. For those who want to be more familiar, di ba, Facebook, ang Airbnb, Uber, yun yung mga startup. Kasi when nagsimula sila, hindi naman naintindihan ng tao paano siya magiging business. But now all of us uses Facebook, all of us uses Twitter, 'di ba? Airbnb, Uber.
Para sinasabi natin na kapag ikaw ay nagsimula ng isang bagay na wala ka pang business model,
yes,
or hindi mo pa alam yung paano mo siya gagawin, you are considered a startup. Pero kung ikaw ay nagsimula ng, for example, isang negosyo na alam mo na yung proseso,
yes,
alam mo na
franchise, ganyan.
Hindi ka na tinatawag na startup.
Yes.
At least ngayon mas malinaw sa
Correct.
mga kakalye. Now, paano ka ba napasok sa startup scene? Saan ba nagsimula lahat to? Kasi magkakilala tayo before nasa Smart ka pa,
yes,
di ba? Tapos lumipat ka na sa Lasal.
Yes. So, actually, bago ako lumipat sa Smart, that was the reason I was recruited at Smart. I was recruited by the late Jim Aison. For those of you who are familiar, si Jim Aison is actually an internet pioneer. So I used to be abroad. I was in Dubai, I was in Afghanistan. I was doing actually technology startups there. I remember during the time, Facebook was not Facebook then. It was the Facebook. May the pa sa
Sa
harapan.
Facebook.
Oh, may the Facebook
Ayan,
pa.
nakakali, no? Bagong ano yan.
Di ba? Ganun ako old
Bagong
school.
alaman.
And I remember everyone was talking, oh, eto yung papalit kay Friendster. So during that time, di ba, may Friendster pa, may multiply.com, may
Yes.
MySpace.
Correct, correct.
And everyone was talking about it kasi the Facebook during that time started in the Ivy League, no, yung mga Harvard and all that. And doon ko na-realize the technology used to do this can create a business that can be global very, very fast. But it takes a lot of parang eksperimento. Kailangan mo mag-eksperimento para malaman mo kung ano yung tamang timpla for the startup, no? And for Facebook, they experimented a few times. And ang maganda sa startup kasi because you're using technology, that means you can do a lot of experiments. Marami kang pwedeng gawing eksperimento and not necessarily gagastos ka na malaki kasi you're just doing a lot of internet, a lot of technology versus yung ginagawa mo if you start like an Andox Manok or a restaurant. Brick and mortar siya, gagastos ka talaga. Gagastos ka pa rin for a startup. Pero technology yung ginagamit mo. You use servers, use all this mga website to put up your startup and you can do a lot of experiments. So that's what encouraged me kasi when I was there, sabi ko, wow, okay itong the Facebook. Nilabanan niya si Friendster, nilabanan niya si Multiply, si MySpace. And now, those sites I'm talking about are gone and Facebook is still here, right?
Yes, pero nung time kasi na yun, di ba, parang who would ever thought na mapapalitan sila? Is it because of more investors coming in or ano ba yung nangyari talaga doon?
Well, one of the things is, I think, remember during the beginning, Facebook, ang dami niyang mga games, di ba? There's a lot of games.
Yes.
Di ba, may mga Farm Bill pa nga tayo,
Farm Bill
remember?
pa.
That. So that was because all the customers during that time, they were asking for it. MySpace didn't have games, but one of the ways people gamified MySpace was you can customize. I'm sure you're one of those customize my MySpace. So a lot of the
Yes.
people got trained in HTML, CSS, yung mga tech ng MySpace, no? But as time went by, when you notice, walang games sa LiveJournal, walang games sa Twitter, walang games sa Multiply, di ba? May games sa MySpace, which is you gamify it, yun yung game, di ba? Pagandahin mo. So, narealize and even Friendster, in fact, the weird thing is Friendster is alive now. I think it's now a game platform, no? So, one of the insights ni Facebook was, gustong tumambay ng mga tao sa internet and they wanna be connected with their friends, but there was no games to play with. So doon sila nag-start eh. Now, the weird thing is we don't really think of Facebook as a gaming platform, right? But that's how it started. So gradually, and also Friendster had a problem. I remember that when I was in Smart, they were trying to find a way to speed up kasi sobrang dami na doon Friendster. Nag-hang na yung website nila at one point. They had to change it. But they were not able to do it on time. By the time they fixed it, Facebook already got their audience. Napunta na kay Facebook lahat halos.
So napakalaki pala ng impact, no? That's a technological challenge, no? For a company. At dahil doon,
na-overwhelm sila
na-overwhelm
ng
sila.
kalaban nila.
Eventually, nawala
Correct.
sila. So, ganun pala ka-importante
Yes.
talaga, no? Yung tech.
Yes.
Yeah. Pero going back dun sa main natin, no? So, pumasok ka, are you invited back here to handle what specific?
Yes, so when I was in Smart, I was invited, right? Sabi ni Jim, kinukulit mo palagi sa startup, so you might as well run. So we ended up running that portion ni Smart where we really did a lot of things for the startup ecosystem. One of those was we helped start Idea Space with MVP, no? So hello to my former boss, Manny Pangilinan, no? Siya yung
Hello po.
nag-start. Hello po.
Bahay lang natin.
Sir MVP, yes. Sila po yung nag-start ng Idea Space Foundation. They're considered one of the first incubators and accelerators na corporate. So corporate siya na. Tapos nakakatawa, one day after us, nag-start yung sa Globe, yung Kickstart, di ba? A day after. The irony there is, I'm sure they wanted to really start, but they needed a signal. It turned out the signal was from us, their competitor, no? But we compete on a telco level, but on the ecosystem, we're considered friends, no? We want to help everyone. So we started Idea Space later. Idea Space helped start with DTI and also DOST and JP Morgan, Technology Business Incubator. So, ang Technology Business Incubator, just as the name says, nag-incubate po siya ng mga startups. They take an idea, may idea ka, may gusto kang gawing startup, gagawin nila from idea, dadaling ka to the point na kumikita na yung idea mo. So, yun ang goal ng mga TBIs. And the government so far has funded at this point around 59 of those.
59 funded startups.
Yes, TBIs, Technology
TBIs.
Business Incubators na normally connected sila sa school. Kubo is special kasi I think it's the one of the few TBIs that's not connected to a school kasi it's connected to Idea Space, DTI, DOST, and JP Morgan and other entities. It's what you call think of it as a public-private partnership, PPP, but technology infrastructure. Imbes na kalsada yung binibuild mo yung quote-unquote kalsada for technology, which is to create more startups in the country.
So hindi ba di ko naman sinasabing may advantage yung isa versus the Kubo, but hindi ba mas beneficial kung affiliated din talaga sa university because di ba mostly kinukuha din naman yung mga resources from the university, di ba? Like for example, if they need to add additional manpower, developers, di ba? Pwedeng kunin sa university rather than hiring from outside which is more expensive. And yun kasi nagkakaproblema din kadalasan ng mga startups, no? Siyempre, pag nagsisimula ka, wala kang pera or kulang yung pera mo to hire people. So, yun, doon pumapasok talaga yung mga university. And I think nakakatulong to kasi 'di ba yung mga faculties, yung mga estudyante, nagkakaroon din ng hands-on experience.
Correct.
So can you elaborate more? Ano ba yung ginagawa niyo sa...
So before nag-start Edison, we want to make this more simple for everyone listening, especially dahil AM po to. So one of the things na isipin niyo po, sa college at university po, lahat ng estudyante meron silang project. No? Normally, magtatapos po yan, may thesis projects kayo or may capstone kayo. So pag-graduate po ako ng De La Salle University, isa po sa promise ng aking university was yung thesis ko which was a robot, no? Ano po sa automated guided vehicle, no? Shout out to my thesis mates, no? Si German Camigla ng White Gallery, sila Jael Villamin sa Australia, and yung CTO po ng Union Bank na si Dennis Omila, mga thesis mate ko po yan. Sabi nila, Paul, maganda tong thesis nyo, i-commercialize namin to. No? But the thing is, commercializing, in other words, pagkakakitaan natin yung thesis mo, yung idea mo, and hindi lang siya idea kasi may prototype may robot ako nabuo, gumagalaw yung robot, may programming siya. Parang sabi nila, okay to, pwede nating ibenta sa korporasyon, ganyan. Yung process of taking that idea to become commercialized, ang tawag po dyan sa DOST, no, technology transfer po yan. You have to create a spin-off company and basically get that idea from the university and turn it into something na pwede siya maging startup. So I encourage, no, kung nakikinig po kayo at meron po, nasa college po kayo, nasa university, meron kayong kakilala, anak, pinsan, pamangkin, apo, nasa college o university, ask niyo po yung school nyo kung meron po bang way na pwedeng i-incubate yung projects nyo. No? So kung wala po silang TBI na connected, what the government is doing is halos lahat po ng region ngayon, naglalagay po sila ng Technology Business Incubator para po yung mga thesis, capstone po ng mga bata, ma-turn po into something na meron pong intellectual property. So yun yung unang way, no, para kumita. Pwede po sila mag-license through the IP, intellectual property, or you turn that idea into an actual startup na meron kang company and you actually find companies or people who will be helped by that idea. So may ganun po, bilang nasa Binild po ako, meron po kaming ganung startup, pangalan niya po Repa Mana. Thesis po siya ni Dars Huson, no? Pagka-graduate niya, yung kanyang thesis mismo, ginawa niya pong kampanya. And now, they've been in Osaka, they're actually going to Singapore, they'll be in Maarte, festival this I think this next month. And basically yung idea nila is becoming a study. In fact, I think they're gonna start incorporating this month. So lahat po ng ideas niya came from their thesis. So kaya po nandito also, I want to encourage everyone listening, yung ano po niyo, yung mga thesis niyo po, mga capstone projects niyo po, mga projects mo sa eskwela, pakakaingatan niyo po yan kasi po may intellectual property po yan, mahalaga po yan. Meron po yang idudulot na kabutihan sa ating bansa if you really push through with it. At the same time, that's why may mga TBIs like Hi-Fi and may other TBIs na kasama, 59 po kami, matutulungan po namin kayo na ma-turn yung mga projects nyo into something that can make a lot of money.
Ito, magandang question para dyan. No? Since nabanggit mo yung tungkol sa intellectual property, let us assume na ang isang estudyante, may ginagawa siyang thesis, no? Na-defend niya, pumasa na siya. Kanino ang ownership ng intellectual property or copyright nun? Magkaiba kasi yung IP saka yung copyright technically. Paano ba yung arrangement nun? Or meron bang batas na involved doon to protect yung student or talagang partly owned siya ng school?
Okay. Normally, may IP policy ang mga eskwela. Like sa Binil po, ang may-ari po ng IP is the student.
Only the student?
The student po. Kasi sila nagbayad eh. Di ba? Kaya ang estudyante nagbayad sa eskwelahan para mag-aral. So yung ginawa po nila, sila po dapat yung may-ari. Ngayon, may exception po yan. May mga projects, minsan, the students need extra resources and that means they wanna work with the university. Isamin, kailangan, besides sa ginawa nilang project, mayroon pa silang gustong gawin. Pag mag-uusap sila ng university, mangyayari nun, magiging co-license yun. Magkaka-ownership po dun sa IP nung bata. The other one is, pwedeng yung project mo, hindi mo na siya gustong ituloy. In other words, tapos ng project, ginawa mo lang siya for academic
para
purposes. Gusto mo lang pumasa. But because may IP po yun, pwede mong kausapin yung IP department, yung intellectual property department ng university nyo at ng college nyo. Sabihin nyo, pwede ko po bang i-co-license sa inyo? Ano big sabihin nun? Sabihin, kayo na po bahala dyan magbenta, license. Pag nabenta nyo po, hati po tayo sa revenue. Kasi, kumbaga wala na siya sa isip mo, di ba? Parang you don't want to do anything with it, right? But you still own so parang isipin mo, may kotse ka. Sabi, hindi ko nagagamitin yung kotse ko. Bigay ko muna sa yung kotse, tapos irenta mo. Yung pag naparentahan mo siya, every time may nagre-rent ng kotse ko, ati tayo dun sa kita. Ganun po. That's one way to view it, to simplify it for those who are listening.
Ayan. So sa mga estudyante nakikinig, no? Huwag yung baliwalain ng thesis. Kasi 'di ba, madalas narinig natin nagpapagawa lang ng thesis. O kaya naman isa lang sa grupo yung gumagawa. 'Di ba? Yan yung mga common naririnig natin eh. Ayan. So ang thesis po natin ay pwedeng maging pagkakitaan din at maging future natin. Kaya dapat seryosohin. Now, going back to the TBI nyo, no? Ilan na ba yung mga startup na natulungan nyo at ano yung mga nangyari sa kanila para mabigyan natin ng idea din yung mga kakalye?
So, the thing is, our mandate, primarily po, ang una po naming mandate is tulungan yung mga estudyante, faculty, associate, kasi may mga part ang university, hindi naman teacher at hindi rin naman sila estudyante. Kunyari po, yung mga registrar, yung mga counselor, tawag namin associate, at mga alumni, yung mga graduate po, no? Sa Binil sa Lasal, sila po yung unang naming mandate. Ibig sabihin, sila yung aming gustong tulungan. So, example po, sa Binil, 10,000 po estudyante namin. In any population, para pasimplihin po natin, sa Philippines or in any country in the world, 10% po ng population are entrepreneurial. Ibig sabihin po, 90% po malamang pag-graduate po nila, magiging empleyado po sila. Pero hindi ka pwedeng maging empleyado o wala kang employer. Meron po dapat mag-employ sa'yo. So 10% po ng isang population are employers. Ganun po siya. Yun yung mga pag alam mo na may ano ka talaga, no? Mahilig ka talaga magnegosyo, no? So in the 10,000, for example, sa Binid, meron kami 10,000 ngayon na estudyante. Mga 1,000, no? 10% po nun are entrepreneurial. Malamang yun, hindi yun magiging empleyado. Ang joke nga natin doon, di ba, COO, mga child of owners. O yung mga magulang,
joke lang po yung mga kakali,
yung mga magulang po nila, basically pinaaral sila kasi gusto nila yung anak nila mag-run ng negosyo nila eventually. Alam po naman natin yan, marami pong ganun. Now, yung 1,000 na yon, may 10% po ng entrepreneurial na technopreneurial. Ibig sabihin po, hindi lang sila entrepreneur, but entrepreneur po sila na gumagamit po sila ng technology. So yun example, like yung minention ko, Facebook, you have Dropbox, di ba, yung mga Viber, and WhatsApp. Alam po natin, Instagram, all na ginagamit natin, mga techno, TikTok, ano po yan, mga nagsusimula po niyan, sila Jack Ma, ano po yan, Mark Zuckerberg, di ba, sino pa, si Elon Musk, ano po yan, mga technopreneur po sila, right? Now, bilang nasa university kami at pinondohan po kami ng gobyerno, we were funded by DOST PSherd para po mag-incubate ng startups. We don't only serve the school. So, yun yung mandate namin, primary, but we are also helping other startups. No? So, in the Philippines, meron po tayong tinatawag na creative industry, no? Because may bagong batas po para ma-identify po ano po yung creative industry. So, meron pong 5 TBI na focus po sa creative industry sa Pilipinas. Mariano Marcos State University sa North, UP Baguio, Bataan Peninsula State University sa Bataan, and Philippine Women's College sa Davao, at binild po sa NCR. So sa NCR po, binild lang po yung nagpo-focus sa creative industry. So ano ibig sabihin po nun? If you are in the creative industry, malamang sa malamang, we would really want to help you with that. So in the university, we have around 25 startups that we are helping. But in the industry, we're helping around almost 100 startups. No? So hindi sila part ng university, pero nagpapatulong po sila in terms of government funding. So as of March 2023 last year, our incubator, our TBI, Technology Business Incubator, HIPA, has been able to help startups raise 23 million pesos worth of equity-free funding. Sabi po, funding na galing sa gobyerno na wala po kayong ibabalik na equity or utang.
Para siyang grant.
Grant siya. Grant po siya.
Bigay talaga ng
Bigay ng
gobyerno
gobyerno
para
po.
makatulong.
Opo.
Ganda na, no?
Yeah, so some of the startups should help. For example, ito na, nasa news po siya. No? Si Miss Nadine Lustre, meron po siyang bagong startup ngayon. Pangalan, Dehusk, DESUSK.com. Ano po siya? Coconut milk na powdered and fortified. Isa na fortified, may vitamins, po siya. So meron na pong coconut milk, meron na pong fortified milk, meron na rin pong powdered milk. But wala pong, ito yung technology innovation, wala pong nakaisip na i-combine yung tatlong yon. So yung business partner po ni Miss Nadine, si Sam Tequala, na galing po sa UK, Pinoy po siya pero educated siya sa UK. Siya yung mag-formulate po and he applied with his team for funding and they were recently granted by the government. It's around, I think it's around 3 million pesos, no, to help them pre-commercialize yung kanilang product. So ang maganda po doon, isa po sa initiatives ng government natin, yung tinatawag na EDCOM, kasi from 0 to 6 years old po na mga bata, a lot of them, kaya hindi po sila nagiging magaling sa pag-aaral. Kulang po yung nutrition po nila. So naghahanap po ang gobyerno ng mga intervention para po, yun nga po, kung fortified siya, may vitamins, so ininom siya ng mga bata sa school, mag-i-improve po yung kanilang nutrition.
Growth.
At may impact po yun sa IQ eh. Pag uminom po kayo ng vitamins, alam na po natin na.
Naniniwala ako dyan kasi anak ko rin.
Correct, di ba?
Because of vitamins, naniniwala ako, tangkad niya ngayon.
Yes. So ganun po yun. So imagine nyo po, ang problema po sa gatas, 90% po ng hindi po Pilipino lang, Asian, lactose intolerant po tayo. In other words, pag ininom nyo yung gatas, alam natin within 1 hour pupunta tayo sa toilet kasi kulang yung katawan natin ng enzyme to properly metabolize the lactose. Pero gusto natin gatas, alam natin healthy yung gatas. So maganda po sa innovation na yon is it's coconut milk, madaling hanapin ng coconut sa Pilipinas.
Marami tayo niyan.
It's fortified and it's powdered, no? So mas madali siyang i-transport. So that's one of the startups. The other one is we have Doon.ph. Doon po is may kotse po kayo pero hindi niyo po nagagamit. Ang kotse niyo po, 94% of the time po nasa garahe po lang natin yan. Hindi niyo po nagkikitaan tapos nagbabayad po kayo, di ba? Para po mabili niyo. So ito po, meron pong app ang Doon.ph. Ang founder po naman nito is sila Enrique Ormilio at saka si Miguel Locsin. Basically may app po siya. Pwede niyo pong parentahan yung yung kotse niyo. So kunyari may computation sila, you can buy a new car and if you rent it out for 300 days, you basically pay off your car in 1 year. Kung yun ang kung hindi mo siya ginamit, talagang pinarentahan mo lang siya, no? So that innovation, you can only do that with technology. It's hard to do that without technology. May gumagawa po nun sa Facebook, pero hindi po insured yung kotse ninyo. Ito po, may insurance siya, may app po siya, may tracker po siya.
Sigurado tayo na safe naman yung kotse
Correct.
natin.
In fact, nung ninakaw nila, insured po yun. May bago kayong kotse
Bago
ulit.
kotse, nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Diba?
Opo. So, see, ako, I didn't even know that idea existed. Tinawagan lang ako ni Enrique, hey, Paul, I have this idea. Is this something that you can, pwede mo ang tulungan dito? Sabi ko, pwede naman. So yun po, nag-apply po sila ng grant, tinulungan namin po sila, at nakakuha rin po sila ng grant. Around mga 3 million rin po yun. So yun, for those who are listening, marami na pong ginagawa ang gobyerno ngayon para tulungan po yung mga, not only mga inventors, but you are an entrepreneur, but you want to use technology, you want to create something that will make an impact. And if you do it right, you can be the next billion-dollar company, yung tawag na unicorn, no, sa ating bansa. Kasi pag gumana po sa Pilipinas yan, pwede nyo po rin silang dalhin sa ibang bansa.
Something that is scalable globally.
Yes.
So we're not talking about sari-sari store, or restaurant, or karinderya.
Yes.
This is more of Facebook-like,
Yes.
or something that can, kumbaga,
Parang SpaceX, parang
Oo.
ganyan. No?
pero maganda rin, no? Doon sa, sa incubator nyo, aside doon sa perang gagaling sa government, ang Lasal ba meron din contribution? At the same
Yes.
time, ano pa yung ginagawa?
So ang contribution po ng Hi-Fi, ng Binild Hi-Fi, unang-una po, nagpatuyo po sila ng building. No? So nag-start po yung incubator namin 2016. Opisina lang po siya. Parang ganito po, desk lang po siya. Kasi po marami pong social innovation projects po yung college. Very big po ang Binild sa pagtulong sa kapwa po na mga mahihirap, mga disadvantage. No? Ang tawag po doon, inclusive. Gusto po namin isama yung mga taong normally hindi po nasasama. Una po naming tanong sa inclusivity, sino po yung hindi nakakasama? Sino yung excluded? So maraming times, no, may mga tao, even the barangay, no, around your school, no, hindi sila nakakapag-aral sa isang private school kasi po hindi po nila maabot, no. So what we do is we provide scholarships for them. So Binild, being run by Lasallian Brothers, they're very big into really inclusive, no, education. So that's one of the things, no, we want to innovate by asking the question, sino yung hindi nakakasama, excluded, and we use inclusive innovation. 2016 po yun. By 2019, naapagpatayo na po ng 4-story building ang Hi-Fi sa may Vito Cruz, kung saan we house the incubator services. Hindi lang nga po siya nagamit kasi nung natayo siya ng 2019, pandemic happened. So parang kabubukas lang niya ulit 2022. We got the funding from the government 2023. March 2023, and the incubation process funded by the government will continue up to March 2025. So meron po kaming building, meron pong co-working space, pwede kayong pumunta doon para po you can meet your co-founders, you can work with your team. May mga event places po kung gusto niyo magpa-event, gusto niyo invite yung mga tao. Also, meron po ang mga network ng mga other founders, and we do an incubator program. Yun po yung pinakamahalaga, no, sa isang incubator. Meron po siyang incubator program. Normally, it takes about 9 months. Mga 9 na ba, no? Parang ang nanganak, di ba? 9 months. So, we go from idea to product market fit. So, we divide it into 3 parts. Develop the founder. So, first, tatanungin ka namin, seryoso ba? Gusto mo po bang gawin ito? Kasi po, ang paggawa ng startup ay isa sa pinakamahirap na bagay. Alam mo to, Edison, nag-try ka. No? Startup is one of the hardest things a human being. Hindi mahirap siya. Kaya nga iba nag-empleyado na lang kasi mahirap po siya itayo.
Actually, sinasabi ko nga, hindi lahat ng tao ay pwedeng pumunta sa startup.
Correct.
Kasi meron talagang tao na mahina loob.
Yes.
Or minsan kasi yung may mga tao na lahat pinapakinggan. Hindi
Correct.
makapag-decide ano
Correct.
talagang gagawin. At syempre, yung iba naman may challenge sa pamilya o kaya naman sa financial.
Yes.
Which is, yun yung mga factor na nakaka-affect kung magsasucceed ka ba o hindi. Kasi ako naniniwala ko kailangan talaga pag sinabi mong you would go start up, talagang kailangan all out ka. Hindi pwedeng half-baked. Usually, hindi rin pwede yung Yung, ay, part-time ko lang gagawin to.
Yes.
May mga nagsasucceed, we're not saying
Oo.
hindi mo pwede gawin yon. It's just that yung chances of succeeding mo mas maliit kapag part-time lang siya.
Kaya, shout out to our friend si Ron Baichong na meron po siyang show sa Spotify, Hustle Share. Pakinggan niyo po yan kasi doon po ginagawa niya. In-interview niya po yung mga taong katulad po ni Edison na mga founder. And doon na malalaman yung mga paghihirap at also syempre rin yung mga masasayang parts of being a startup founder. Ang mahirap po sa startup founder, kung entrepreneur ka kasi, ang iisipin mo lang yung negosyo.
Correct.
Sa startup kasi may technology. Yun yung part. So a lot of times, the technology moves very fast. Mabilis pang tumakbo yung technology. Yung naaral mo ngayon, in 2 years, obsolete na po yan. Luma na yan. So kailangan you have to move fast. So dalawa yung ginagawa mo. Iniisip mo yung negosyo. At the same time, ginagawa mo rin yung technology kasi gusto mong gamitin yung technology to create or take advantage of what is the opportunity in front of you. So yun yung mahirap po din. That's why we ask that question. Develop the founder. Gusto mo ba talaga ito? Second is develop the product. Pag na-convince na yung founder, gusto talagang gawin to. Okay, we'll take their idea and we'll do all the tools. No? Marami po sa startup, maraming tools yan. May lean canvas, business canvas, all that. We do all these things no, para to check ano ba yung kanilang idea. So we check, nagva-validate po kami, tinatanong nila yung mga users. Eventually, yung idea po nila, makakahanap po sila, hopefully, no, nakakahanap silang customer na willing bumili, willing magbayad dun sa product nila.
Kasi minsan yung assumption is not enough eh.
Yes.
Kadalasan kasi, di ba, nakikita natin yung mga founders, pitch na sila ng pitch based on assumption. Which is pag ginawa na mismo yung product, ay, hindi pala ito yung kailangan, hindi pala sila yung target market, hindi pala nila gusto. Pero nag-assume lang kasi sila based on nakikita nila.
Yes.
Kaya medyo mahirap din minsan no, kapag wala kang guidance. Yun kasi yung I think nakikita kong isang value din ng TBI eh. Nabibigyan ka ng guidance, no? At the same time, you're able to connect to industry experts.
Yes. We bring a lot of speakers from product, UX, UI, business, financial modeling, marketing, branding, accounting. We bring all these things. Kung ano yung kailangan po ng startup, we try to find someone in our network that will help them until they achieve it. Ito kaming PMF, product market fit. Ibig sabihin, mahahanap po nila yung market at yung market mahahanap yung product nila at willing yung market magbayad ng pera. Or,
Yes, that's the most important thing, no? Kasi ako, naniniwala ako, kailangan talaga pag ang goal mo sa startup mo is kumita organically.
Yes.
Yun yung maganda. Yung iba kasing startup, di ba, ang mindset is mag-raise lang na mag-raise eh. Based on assumption pa rin. So tayo dito, more on tayo, di ba? Talagang how to really grow the business organically.
Yes. Ngayon, I don't have anything, again, if you're just raising money, at the end of the day, kailangan pa rin ng pera. Ang tawag po doon runway, no? Kailangan po ng company nyo ng pera para po mag-exist, no? Obviously, I'm sure may binabayaran kayong renta, whatever. But that's why the TBI is there to help you. Kung wala ka pang pangrenta, pwede ka muna nasa TBI ka muna. We can help you. Doon ka muna mag-co-work. Until such time na may pera ka na, pwede ka na magbayad ng renta, pwede ka na magbayad ng mga tao, all that. You can buy machines, we can help you get the grant. No? Marami pong funds ang government, especially sa DOST TAPI. May grant po sila ngayon. Deadline September 6. Technically, unlimited po siya. But normally, I ask my startups to do proposals at 3 million. DICT rin po, meron po silang grants po. Deadline bukas, no? August 25, 1 million. Bukas po, puntahan niyo po yung website po ng DICT, no? Kasi 1 million is 1 million. Hindi mo rin mahahanap yung kahit mag-aad ka sa luneta buong araw. So maganda po, under the Startup Innovation Act ni former Senator Bam Aquino at ng Philippine Creative Industry, meron po si Toffer de Venecia, meron rin pong Philippine Innovation Act, sa Digital Competitiveness. Marami po tayong funding ngayon. Nagsimula kami, wala pong funding ng gobyerno. Si Manny Pangilinan naglabas lahat, no? Parang at the start, he earmarked 500 million pesos o 1 billion pesos. Martin Kuan actually, who was with Earl Balanci, asked 1 billion pesos from MVP. Tinanong siya bakit 1 billion. Sabi, because it's a nice round number. Yun yung joke namin. So
Nice round
In,
number.
in fairness sa mga MVP, nag-gets na yung joke, no? Tapos nagbigay siya ng 500 million, which until now, I think Idea Space is still using. So ganun po, no? So once develop the founder, seryoso ka ba? Develop the product. Darating po yung point na you'll start selling your product, pas panay acknowledgement receipt lang yung binibigay mo, no? But there will be a point of embarrassment, yung sabi ng kliyente mo, sir, hindi na po kami nag-accept ng acknowledgement receipt. Kailangan nyo po ng resibo kasi mamilyon-milyon na po itong orderin namin. At that point, you have to develop the business. Ito na yung boring part. Ito yung alam natin lahat, di ba? Punta ka sa SEC, mag-register ka, may opisina ka na, may resibo ka na, may bank account ka na, kailangan mo na kumuha ng accountant, di ba? Kailangan mo na kumuha ng tax lawyer. So yun po. So yun po, develop the founder, develop the product, develop the business. May mga iba pong incubator, nagde-develop the business muna sila kasi para po mag-invest yung mga investors sa inyo, normally kailangan ng korporasyon. But kami, bilang nasa school kami, we want to do the product first. But normally, if you really need to incorporate, it will, in the Philippines, no, I think it will take 60 days for you to incorporate. Kaya naman.
Less than naman.
Yeah, so pero yun yung statistics. No? So, if you really need sa akin, it's better you figure out kung ano talaga yung pagkakakitaan mo dun sa idea mo, especially if it's very, very new, no one has done it. But once you figure it out and marami ka ng customer, that's a good problem. Tawag namin ng good problems. Parang ang laki ng problema ko kasi million-million yung kailangan kitain. Example nun yung entrepreneur in residence namin, si Miss Camille Albarasi. Meron po siyang startup. Kung may nakikinig po, no, kontakin nyo kami sa Hi-Fi kung gusto nyo pong tumulong.
So you can share the number later.
Yeah, no, you can go to the website, Binild Hi-Fi, no, sa Facebook. So si Miss Camille, may startup po siya, Everything Green. Sumali po siya sa Manila Fame, no, last year. And nakakuha po siya ng maraming order, no, especially from the US. One of the orders was $13.2 million a year. So ang kaya niya produce is yung biocomposite na mga coconut na tsinela. So very circular, very eco-friendly. Ang kaya niya i-produce at that point was 5,000 a week. Ang nire-require ng order was 500,000 a quarter or 2 million na tsinelas in a year. Yung isang order lang yan, I think there were other orders, mga total around 15 million. So at that point, yun yung issue, no? Hindi na niya kailangan talaga improve yung product market fit niya. Product market fit na siya.
Meron na siyang PO eh.
May PO na siya eh. And at that time, I'm sure may mga nakikinig dito, you're willing to do PO financing and all that. So yun yung magandang issue kasi by that time, she needs now to create a factory for the biocomposite chinelas. Yun yung mga startup and I think this kind of idea na yung kasi yung biocomposite, yung coconut, basura lang yun eh. Hindi yung ginagamit eh. Ngayon, pinakakakitaan na niya. And now she can make annual recurring revenue kasi umorder hotel sa Las Vegas. So it means every year order lang na order yun nung 13.2 million and I'm sure it's gonna grow big, no? So may intuition nasa isip ko po, I think this can be the first social enterprise unicorn, no? It can be easily be $1 billion company if we help her. So kung meron pong nakikinig, I've talked to my friends in NDC sa National Development Company. I've talked to several people. So yun po yung mga ideas that we want to help, no? Na nag-search siya, hotelier po siya for 20 years, galing rin po siya sa Binild. And a lot of the hotels are looking for eco-friendly po na mga tsinelas, mga mats, ganun. And yun nga, best-selling product nila po yung biocomposite na greenelas. Pangalan po, greenelas, green tsinelas, greenelas.
Actually, para sa kaalaman ng ating mga kakalya, no? Sa ibang bansa kasi medyo in demand ngayon yung sustainability, na tinatawag.
Circularity.
So, yan yung trend. Kaya dapat talaga, siguro, sinasuggest ko rin sa mga founders, dapat umalisin muna tayo ng bansa, mag-visit tayo sa ibang bansa para makita natin yung mga nangyayari, yung mga trends. Kasi yan din yung pwede mong ibalik dito, gawin, ibenta sa labas, or i-implement na dito sa Pilipinas. Diba?
Or attend po kayo ng mga fair. Marami pong fair dito sa Philippines. And normally, like yung Manila Fame, nagpupunta po yung mga buyer from the US, Canada, UK. Naghahanap po sila. Kasi alam nila may mura yung labor dito, may rin tayong resources, and kung they order that in the States, it's gonna cost them 10 to 20x more. So, obviously they have to import it, right? But yun nga, they already know na isang container van yan, they save a lot of money. So, and they
Yes.
will be able to meet their sustainability and their circularity, eco-friendly goals.
Yun. So, aside do sa nabanggit mo, sino pa yung mga notable na nag-succeed na natulungan ng Daniel Hi-Fi?
Well, one of those is we do have a marketplace for kasambahay. So, alam po naman natin, tingnan niyo po na pagpunta kayo sa Facebook, isearch niyo po yung kasambahay.
Kasambahay.
Kasambahay, and we have a kasambahay law, no? So, ang problema, mahirap po maghanap ng matinong kasambahay. So, pag tinignan niyo po sa Facebook, ang dami-dami po, abutin po kayo ng oras, no? Groups po yan, groups, ang dami. So, yung founder po nito, sila Chris Azania, they wanted to create parang a platform where they can find all these kasambahays and vetted po sila. Parang the people there can recommend matinutong kasambahay nito, ito yung nagre-recommend. So, alam po na natin sa buong Pilipinas, it's well needed, no, everywhere, but they wanna find a platform. That's an example. We have them also get again. One of the other ones that really exciting, no, si Jillian Santos, who's also may parang co-facilitator sa Sinigang Valley in Clubhouse. Meron kami dating regular na parang ganito kay Edison, usapang kaliwa, usapang startups, no. Yung startup po niya, pangalan po Anihan Tech. So Anihan Tech, they have a nanosensor that detects po pesticide in mangoes. Bakit po importante yon? Kasi po, ang total export capability po ng bansa natin, let's say 100% po yung kailangan, ang pwede natin i-export. We are only exporting 3.4% of our capability. Bakit po? Ang bottleneck po, ang naghihinto po dyan is, kailangan pong i-test yung mango bago lumabas para yung pesticide na po mababa. Problema po yung testing po nun, sobrang mahal. So, pag tinignan yung mga testing, sobrang mahal. So, anong nangyari? Nasa stop po yung exporting natin kasi nga kailangan siyang i-test. Yung nanosensor na to is small, is cheap, and it's powerful. Kaya niya pong i-facilitate. So hopefully, kung ma-increase natin yung 3% to even 6 or even 9 or 10%,
Malaking
ang laki pong impact yan. And mangoes lang yan, ha? And if you think about it,
applicable siya sa lahat.
sa other fruits, you can create other sensors so that will increase. Pag tinanong nga, Paul, okay ka ba? Sa akin, with that, sabi ko, with that capability, pwede kong sabihin, may nagtanong sana, ambag ko sa bayan, na the fact na kung na-increase ko yung export natin from 3%, abay tuloy, million of metric tons to, hindi to thousands, millions of metric tons to. No? So if I can increase the mango exporting to twice, ano na yun, may ambag na ako, no? Pag may nagtanong sa akin.
Ilang ambag? Malaking ambag.
Million metric tons.
You would literally add to FDI natin.
Yeah, as in, it will revolutionize the way we would do export. In fact, I talked to friends na nalaman, kwentuhan lang kami, nalaman ko, meron pala silang mango farm. Sana, Paul, pakilala mo nga sa akin yan. Meron akong mango, whatever, and yun nga, binalidate ko, problem nyo ba yan? Oo, sabi niya, hirap magpa-test, no, mahal kaya, no? So yun po yung mga technology innovation na, if you think about it, sobrang revolutionary. The other one I'm excited about, we have a startup called Rivastaff. Si Rivastaff was also approved for funding ng DOST Preserved. Ang issue ito po, grabe to, ang issue po sa usapin ng pabahay is, shout out to my friend, no, Trusty Greg Montenegro, and happy birthday to his wife, Miss Pinky Romaldes. So trusty po si Greg ng Pag-ibig, no. Ang kinikwento na sa akin, meron pong backlog tayo sa low-cost housing na 6.5 million houses. I think by 2030 or something, magiging 12 million, gano'ng kadami. And we can only create about 200,000 houses. Ang layo po na, 200,000 yung kaya nating gawin. Pero 6.5 yung kailangan, and willing po ang Pag-ibig na sagutin, no? Kasi they can guarantee the creation of this low-cost housing. Ang issue po dito is, wala pong gustong gumawa kasi po hindi ayos yung sistema. So si Rivastaff, meron po siyang TerraPlants. Bisitahin niyo po, terraplants.io. Kung meron ba kayong lote na 5 hectares in a vibe, submit niyo lang po yan. Ito po, gumagamit sila ng AI. Mafi-figure out po nung AI kung paano po gawin yung site planning, master planning, tapos imamatch po nila sa contractor, architect, para mo mabuo yung plano nyo. And someone can buy that. And the 15% part of that, no, required for low-cost housing, yun po yung iaambag natin dun sa 6.5 million na backlog. So excited po ako dito kasi ang dami mo nating matutulungan na mga kapwa nating Pilipino na wala pong bahay. At problema po ng lahat ng mga mayor yan in 166 chartered cities. Parang sino ba yung gagawa nito? And marami pong programa yung Pag-ibig. We went there, we had a meeting noon. Marami po silang they have programs no, even how to create housing even if you're a non-developer. Ganun na po katindi yung programa. Kahit hindi ka developer, tutulungan ka ng gobyerno magtayo ka ng housing para lang po mapunuan yung kulang po dun sa 6.5 million na low-cost housing po para sa ating
Talagang may
kababayan.
nangyayari.
Yes, ang dami pong nangyayari, sir.
Actually, I think hindi lang na i-spread yung word about
Correct.
it, di ba? Yun kasi yung nagiging problem din eh. So parang tingin natin, walang nangyayari.
Yes.
Pero ang dami pa lang ginagawa.
Daming exciting po. So, kaya masaya dito kasi number one, a lot of the ideas na ginagawa po ng ating mga fellow startup founders, mga inventors po, are exciting kasi po, ito yung mga ideas na wala man nakakaisip. Kasi po kung naisip na po ito, di sana ginagawa na, no? Tapos po yung ideas nila also, pagkakaitan ng pera. Kasi po, ang laking pong pera ng mga sectors na to, di ba? Pabahay, fertilizer.
Hindi siya barya.
Hindi siya barya. Yung usapan po dito, billion po na metric tons. Ganyan po yung usapan. And if you had the right idea, you have the right concept, not only will you be able to help, no, hindi ka lang makakatulong sa bayan at kung ano mo yung sector. Minsan ito, food security, di ba ito, shelter, ito yung, di ba, mga hierarchy of needs, no? Yun ang mga unang-unang kailangan po na pagkain at saka po saan ka titira, di ba? So kung matulungan po natin yung ating mga kababayan diyan, hindi lang po makakatulong but kikita ka rin ng pera at basically pwede mo siyang ibalik na for sustainability so you can expand your business and expand your reach. Maybe we can even help other countries.
Ayun. So, ang ganda pala ng ginagawa nila, Paul, no? And the rest of the government, no? So, kailangan talaga magtulong-tulong eh. Pero ito yung tanong. Kunyari, meron tayong kakalya na interested. Can they go to your office
Yes.
lang? Ano ba yung requirement? Or ano ba yung kailangan nilang bitbit to get started? Kung let's say,
Sa amin lang, basta may idea ka at napag-aralan mo mabuti, pwede nating tingnan kung anong pwede nating gawin dun sa idea mo para ma-incubate, yun ang term, ma-incubate natin yung idea mo. So from idea mo, tingnan natin how we can turn it into a full-fledged business. Halos wala kaming tinatanggihan, no? Minsan, yung founder nga sumusuko sa amin kasi kukulitin namin talaga sila hanggang, nasaan na yung nasaan na yung deck mo, may ganun po, ang gobyerno po may proposal yan every year, tuloy-tuloy po yan. Meron pong ang TAPI, may Technicom grant, ang DOST Shirt, may Startup Grant Fund Program, pati ang DICT. Meron rin po ang DTI, kaagapay po nilang NDC. At meron rin po silang Women Helping Women, mga social entrepreneur for women. Meron pong grants po. So ang dami pong mga grants na pinamimigay ng mga pera. And normally, papel lang po siya. Yun nga yung joke doon eh. Pag nag-aaral ka, nagbabayad ka sa eskwela para turuan ka magsulat. Sa grant, magsulat ka. Pag maganda yung grant mo, bibigyan ka ng pera. Sasabi, mas madali? Di ba mas okay yung ngayon?
mas maganda yun. Magsulat ka, bigyan ka ng pera.
Wala nga gasto, susulat ka lang, bibigyan ka ng grant eh.
Grant siya. So, walang kukunin na shares.
Wala.
Pero hindi naman kunyari yung makakali natin, may idea sila. Hindi naman kailangan na may kumpanya na. Kahit
Hindi mo na, sa start, i-validate mo kasi yun ang importante. I-test mo muna yung idea mo para malaman mo, makonvince ka ano yung solution na kailangan mong gawin. So yun po yung step, no? Parang find your customer. Sino po yung tao na gusto nyo pong tulungan? Tapos, kausapin nyo po sila, tanong nyo po, ano po ba nangyayari sa kanya? Tapos, ano po yung problema ng customer na yon? Tapos, yung customer, may problema siya, gumawa po kayo ng solution. So meron kaming process, ang tawag po natin design thinking. So yun, meron pong company na dumalaw sa amin recently, kaibigan ko po, si May Flores, no? Siya po yung modeling agency na Catriona Gray. So kilala niyo po siguro. So yun, sabi niya, Paul, meron akong gustong concept eh. Nagpatulong lang sa akin. Gusto kong gawin yung deck. Sabi ko, why don't you do design thinking para malaman natin ano ba talaga yung problema. So yun po, dumalaw po sila kasama yung kanyang friend, no, si at Binibining Pilipinas 2015 for tourism, si Ann Collis at saka si Jet Tolentino, 3-time Tony Award winner and Grammy. Yun sila, nagkwentuhan sila, tapos we were talking to them, how do we create a solution, no, for the problem. Pero we start with the persona, parang sino yung mga taong gusto mong tulungan. Kasi yun yung importante. Pag hindi natin alam kung sino na gusto natin tulungan, hindi natin makakausap sila, hindi natin malalaman yung problema nila. Pag hindi natin alam yung problema nila, hindi natin magagawa ng solusyon yung mga problema nila.
Ayan. So, bukas naman ang opisina niyo Monday to Friday?
Yes, Monday to Friday. And once in a while, Saturday, pag kailangan talaga magpa-workshop, dahil nga maraming grant, so yun namang hinihingi ni startup, Paul, pa-workshop, tag doon write shop, no? Parang workshop on how to write R&D proposal. So, tinutulungan po namin sila para magsulat po ng mga R&D proposal na if they do it correctly, they can get the funding from the government.
Ayan. So, siguro ang payo na sa mga kakalye, no? Basta bitbit ng kayo ng lakas ng loob din. Puntahan niyo na po kagad si Paul Pacon.
Yeah, hanapin niyo lang po.
Benilde Hi-Fi, no? Sa ano to? Anong
1049 Pablo Ocampo Senior Street, no? Yung dating Vito Cruz. So harap lang po kami ng BDO Vito Cruz. Katabi namin ng Honey Mart. Kahilera lang po namin ang Becky's Kitchen. So yung sikat na bake shop, sikat for their crinkle.
Ayan. Yun po yung kulay pulang building.
Yes.
Nakakaiba yung
kamukha ni Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. Ayan. Pero syempre, dahil usapang startup din naman tayo ngayon, banggitin na rin natin yung upcoming event, no, para sa mga startup founders, no, sa darating na Nobyembre.
Yes.
Ito yung Geeks on a Beach.
Yes.
Syempre, gaganapin this year, no, sa Cebu, sa J Park.
Yes. So, meron pong, ito po, every year po to. So, last year po sa Bolsho, but this time, normally po, ginagawa po itong event to end the Philippine Startup Week. So, yes, punta lang po kayo sa geeksonabeach.com. Mag-register po kayo habang mas aga, mas mura po yung registration. Kung gusto niyo pong ma-meet ang mga other startup founders nyo at also members ng gobyerno po, no? Miyembro ng mga gobyerno ng pamahalaan na natin na nais tumulong sa mga startup founders natin at nandiyan rin po yung mga funders, may mga angel investors, may mga venture capitalists. Halos yata lahat po ng startup founders na pumunta last year po nakakuha po ng pondo, no? So I'm very sure if you go there, kung hindi po magandang pag-uusap, at least makakuha rin po kayo ng funding. Siya nawa.
Well, actually, di lang funding kasi I've been attending Geeks on the Beach then before, di ba? And yung aral din eh.
Yes.
Saka yung mga
Learnings.
kwento, learnings, experience. Saka syempre yung camaraderie, after party.
Yes.
That was a fun part, no? Kasi syempre, party after. Pero ang pinaka-primary na talaga is yung makakonect tayo doon sa mga kapwa nating negosyante din. At magkaroon tayo ng enlightenment, no? Kasi syempre, ang maganda dyan, nakikita natin, ay, saan ba nagkamali yung iba para makorek natin? Or tayo rin naman, makapag-share din tayo ng experiences natin. Ayan. Siyempre, hi to Tina Amper. Hello.
Yes, hello.
And the entire team, no, from
So,
Cebu.
gusto ko rin pong mag-hello kay ASEC Lumag Saysay ng CICC Cybercrime Investigation Coordination Center. Sila po yung cooperating agency po ng Benilde Hi-Fi. Meron po kaming proposal with DOST shared for cybersecurity naman.
Yes.
So, maganda po dito. It's what's called a directed grant. Ibig sabihin po, sobrang bilis pong kumilos yung gobyerno natin in terms of cybersecurity. They even want to, gusto po nilang magkaroon ng matinong R&D para po sa maraming requirements po yung cybersecurity. So, bilang isa pong eskwelahan, meron po rin kaming cybersecurity course, no? So kung nais niyo po mag-aral sa cybersecurity, meron po kami niyan, bagong-bago lang po. At meron din po kaming social innovation course na kalalaunch din po namin. So dahil meron nga kaming cybersecurity course, we wanna work with the cyber crime entity, no, agency, no, na may bagong batas kasi diyan na basically allowed si ICC to be created para matulungan po lahat po ng ahensya ng gobyerno natin para alam po nila paano po, number one, understand what cybercrime is and prevent it at sana knock on wood, kung may nangyari man, at least they're able to handle and know what to do with it.
Ayan. So any last message sa ating mga kakalye, no? Siyempre, from Paul Paho himself.
Yes, we want to focus also on our banner programs. Ang banner program po namin is game development and design, and the design domain, interior design, industrial design, architecture, fashion design management. Although we have other courses. So meron po kayong idea in the creative industry, lumapit lang po kayo because we want to really have more startups in that domain. So if you're into creating games, you're industrial designer, meron pa industrial design, or interior design ka, meron ang concept, you're an architect, you wanna create your own research lab, or marami po kaming fashion design startup like Repamana. Or you're a musician, you wanna come up with a concept, meron po kaming startup ngayon na we combine the NFC ng phone at saka music player. May artists like si Barbie Amabi, she just launched her new single, I think yesterday, Homeostasis. But a lot of our artists, they're not really making money from Spotify. So if you have that NFC card, which is a collectible, it's one of our startups, si Earl Marquez, no? That might be something you might want to look into kasi yung isang card nun, you can make in one sale what you'll make in a year in Spotify. Isang card lang po yun. So, ganun po a revolutionary idea. So, again po, if you're listening at meron po kayong idea, especially in the creative industry domain, wag po kayong mag-atubili na lumapit po. No? Punta lang po kayo sa website namin, fb.me/binildhifi, BENILDEHIFI. Message lang kami and we will try to accommodate you, try to meet with you either face-to-face or Zoom. Nandito po kami para tumulong po sa inyo at tuparin ang pangarap nyong tumulong sa buong mundo.
Yes, thank you, Paul Paho. Ayan po mga kakalye, isang oras na naman ng magandang talakayan, no? Usapang startup ngayong Sabado. At ayan po, pansamantala po muna ulit tayong magpapaalam dahil mag-aalas 3 na. Ayan.
Thanks,
So,
Edison.
sa lahat po ng bubuo ng Usapang Kalye, good afternoon sa inyong lahat. Thank you, Paul Paho, for
Thank you.
coming. And sa lahat ng kakalye sa buong mundo, thank you for listening. Pag meron po kayong mga comments or requests, maaari niyo po yung isend sa 0915-7555-010 or mag-email lamang sa usapangkalye@hubnob.com. Ayan. So, once again guys, maraming salamat sa pakikinig at see you next week.
Inyong napakinggan ang programang Usapang Kalye nila Edison Gotan at Cliff Deluz.